back. It's been, I think, another week, because it's the weekend and I seem to film at the weekends because that's when John sets up my camera for me. So I thought I'd do like a little update vlog, and also I put on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook that I'm a bit bored and a bit stir crazy and I wanted to make a video, so if anyone wanted to ask me anything then I'd do a Q&A video. So that's what I'm doing today, and I'm feeling so much better, so much brighter, getting back to my old self. Yesterday I went back to the hospital and I had my stitches removed, which, I'm not going to lie, really hurt because, okay, this might be TMI. If you don't like gruesome stuff, then just skip forward a little bit. The scabs from my wound had gone over the stitches. They had to cut my scabs off before they could take my stitches out. And I cried. I was so brave, but then I cried. But they feel much better now the stitches are out, and my bandages have gone down. I've now just got 2 fingers in a big bandage. So that's better. I can do more things now that my other fingers are free, which is fantastic, because I can do that. I still can't bend either of the fingers, and the middle finger, I still can't feel half of it, so we'll see. But it's getting better and the wounds are healing really well. They've said that next week I can probably take this 4-finger bandage off because I've just got the wound on it. It was the middle finger that I broke and cut through the nerve, so this one will be able to come off and this one's got to stay on a bit longer. And so we're getting there. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me messages and emails and happy mail, and you know, sent me all your well wishes and prayers and everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think it's all worked and helped because it's helped to lift my spirits, which has helped to kind of aid in my healing and everything. So I'm really getting there now, and hopefully it won't be too long. I've started to reply more to comments and stuff and do more on the computer now because I'm not in so much pain. I'm not taking so many painkillers which aren't zonking me out, because before I was just asleep the whole time, partly because of the painkillers and partly because I was in so much pain. But now I'm not in so much pain, I can do more, and it's fantastic for me mentally. So I've been replying back to comments and stuff, and I don't think it's going to be at all long before I'm back into my old self and full swing, which is great. Fantastic. So that's kind of an update from me. So thank you everyone for being just so very lovely. Yeah, so as I said, I put out a thing on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram saying, does anyone want to ask me any questions? And he came back with questions which I've printed out, and there's quite a few, but I'm going to get through them. So there are random topics, mainly Filofax, but also books and journaling and art. So it's a bit of a combination of stuff, but I'm just going to do it all in the one video, and I'll try and be as quick as possible because I don't want, well, you know me, I love to talk, and particularly as I'm not getting out much at the moment, I like to talk to you guys. So from Instagram, Nikki O'Hara says, what is your favourite colour, and do you use that colour more or less in your art or craft work? Well, this is a really hard one. A lot of these questions are really hard, by the way, and I'm really having to engage the brain. I would say I probably have one solid favourite colour, but that I like the kind of colours that would perhaps go either side of that. Now let me explain. I really like a turquoise blue, but then I also really like teal, and I also really like mint. So they're kind of like the kind of similar tonal ranges. You know, they're cool colours and they're very similar. They're only kind of like a touch different from each other. So I like mint, teal, turquoise, those kind of colours. I also really like purple, but a deep purple. And I'm not a massively pink girl, but I do like a splash of pink every now and then to kind of break it up, because I think like mint or teal, pink and purple go really well together. So those are the colours that I tend to use the most in my art and craft work, and the kind of colours that pop up all the time. But I do have a love affair with colours. I do love colours, and I like different combinations. I'm very into colour palettes, and I'm forever looking at colour palettes, and like, you know, on Pinterest when people do those paint chip things, I'm forever looking at those, because I like to see colours that complement each other, because when you look at a colour palette, you'll find that some colours draw a different quality out of another colour. And that sounds really hard but to explain, but I think when you look at a colour palette as a whole, you kind of appreciate each colour in a different way, in a better way. They kind of work together to bring different qualities out from each other. And that's a really hard thing to explain, but if you're into like graphic or art or photography, if you've done anything like that at college, they kind of really, which I have, they kind of really get you to do that kind of thing at college, to look at colours and things that work together and complement each other. So, and there's a lot on the internet about colour theory and stuff, so if you're really into your art or want to get more into art, then have a look at colour theory, and palettes. You know, start to look at colour palettes and look at what works well together. The more you kind of look at different colour palettes and stuff, you start to formulate what you like and what works well together. So big advice from me if you want to get more arty. Right, so moving on, My Green Cow asks, your house is burning down, you can only grab 2 journals, scrapbooks, filofaxes. Which 2 things do you grab? I really don't know which 2 I would grab, and I'm struggling with this question, because I'm kind of like, would I take my, right, Filofax wise, I would probably grab my current Filofax, which has like my diary in it and work stuff in it, so that in theory I could potentially carry on doing stuff and I'd know where we were at, and I also happen to really like it, so I'd probably grab that. Journal wise, I don't know, because I'm like, do you go with your do you go with a current journal or do you go with a past journal? I don't really know. So therefore I would probably say I would grab my nude patent original Filofax, which has got my diary stuff in it, and then I would grab my A5 Finsbury because I just love it, and journals I guess would just have to burn because I couldn't pick just 2. If I had to pick 2, whether it was like, you know, because she says just 2, like journal, scrapbook, so I couldn't decide on which one to bring, so okay, move on because I don't know. Talking, waffling. Nikki Parker says, how did you get into Filofaxing? Well, I've said a few times in videos that I got my first ever Filofax, this one, when I graduated from university in 2002. I was entering the world of work and I needed to move away from like an academic diary to a diary basically. So that's when I bought my first Filofax, and it's basically just kind of grown and grown from there really. I've always used a Filofax since 2002, and I don't know why I didn't even realise there was a massive Filofax community until kind of 2012. I don't know, but yeah, so I just kind of got into using it because I needed a diary, and that was just the thing that I bought, and then it's just kind of gone from there really, which is really cool. Sun and Cookies, if you could choose any planner or Filofax in the world, what would it be? Also, if you had the chance to make a Filofax, what colour, texture, size and pattern would it be? Right, okay, so if I could choose any in the world to have that currently exists, I am quite tempted by some of the Kiki K ones because I like the gold rings and the colour, like the lilac and the mint. But I also like some of the Gilios that have like the extra leather kind of flap bit inside them. So not sure, but I'll probably go with a Kiki K planner because I haven't got one and I'm really tempted by one. If I was to design my own, it would have the same look and feel as leather, but it wouldn't be leather. And colour-wise, I would probably go with a... Oh, I don't know. To be honest with you, I think designing your own is quite difficult because I think some of the ones that I really like already exist, like the Malden in Aqua. That's kind of like my most wanted kind of planner. It'd be look like leather but not leather. It would probably be, I don't know, I like the personal size for transportability, but for putting more in and writing I like the A5. I'd probably design a new size that was somewhere in between a personal and an A5. Colour wise, I would quite like something that had a little bit of a detail, a little bit of a pattern on it, but not something as out there as the cover story. The cover story is just a bit too bold and out there for me. So something in the middle, like I really like the Kiki K planners where they have like the little gold dots on them. So something kind of like that and quite sort of chic, maybe like with geometric design on, maybe something like that. It's quite hard. That's quite a hard question. These are all hard questions. Okay, Scorpan 1981. If you could move or live anywhere in the world, where would that be? Well, we recently moved to this house. Well, recently, it's been a year and nearly 6 months. And this is kind of the ideal for us. We love it here. We love living here. If we were to move, it would be by the coast somewhere, either in Cornwall or in Norfolk, because they're the two places that we really like. That being said, it's kind of, that would probably be something that would be on the cards for when we're older or retire, because we have to think realistically about job and like John's job, so he needs to be somewhere where he can do what he does and work. So I don't know if those sort of jobs exist in those places, so that's kind of would be a future like retirement thing for us. The other places that we would love to live, whether we do it or not I don't know, would either be Hawaii or San Francisco. There we go. Crazy Island Studios. How did you and Mr. B meet and fall in love? How long have you been married? Okay, we went to school together. We went to secondary school together. So we have known each other since we were 11, which was in 1991. That's when we met. But actually, we didn't realise until later on that we had the same mutual friend when we were children, and we went to the same, and John used to go to that mutual friend's birthday parties at the same time as I did, and we also went to the same swimming lessons together. So we've actually known each other since we were probably about 5, which is crazy. But actually, we were friends at school, we met at school, we were friends at school, and we used to sit together in classes. We had geography together and we had PE together, and we were just really, really good friends. And it wasn't until we left school at 16 where there was that realisation that we wouldn't see each other every day, and we really missed each other. It wasn't until the summer after we'd finished school that we realised we missed each other, and John rang me one day in the school holidays and asked if we'd like to get together, and we got together, and that was the start of our romantic relationship, and we've been together ever since. We ended up going to the same university together, and we then got engaged in 2002, and we got married in 2007. So this year in November will be our 7th wedding anniversary. And the really scary thing is that we have been together for over half of our lives, which is just crazy. But he's my best friend, so that's kind of a pleasure. Okie dokie. Betty Ann says, can you talk a little bit about your journey as an artist, early drawings and training, etc.? Okay, so I've always been an arty person, always. When I was younger, I never really played with dolls or toys or anything. I had them, but I didn't really play with them. And I used to play with kind of craft bits. I used to do a lot of junk modelling. I would have a cardboard box full of random bits of rubbish and glue, and I'd much rather play with that and create than I would play with dolls. And my parents always really encouraged me to do that. They bought me art supplies, and my mum has kept a lot of my early drawings. At school, I didn't really have a very good experience of art at school. I found recently a past sketchbook, and I read it, and the comments in there from the teacher just weren't encouraging. I wasn't kind of encouraged to improve my art and do art. So whilst a lot of my art was kind of like, I was doing art and I loved doing it, the teachers weren't really pushing me and helping me to go on further. And I had the opportunity to do art at GCSE, but I turned it down, which I really regret doing now. I did PE instead and wish I'd done art. But I've always been self-taught and carried on arting as much as possible, and I really regret not doing art at GCSE. But the teachers kind of stifled me, and I later in life went to college and I did a diploma in art. I can't remember what it's called because I can't find my certificate, but I did it at college, and it's like a diploma of art. And I never really got on well with the teachers, and not on a personal level. The teachers were fine personally, but they used to put a still life in front of me. Like this one teacher put a pair of shoes in front of me and told me to draw those shoes, still life. And I couldn't draw them. My pictures were horrendous because I'm really bad at drawing what I see. My brain interprets things and does it something else, which is why I'm quite good at coming up with my own little characters and things like that, because my brain works in that kind of way. My brain cannot do still life art. It just can't, and I don't know why, but it just can't. So, and I was always kind of, not at loggerheads, but always kind of, there was a little bit of a friction there between me and the tutors, because they were really frustrated with me because I wasn't drawing what I was seeing, and I was frustrated with them because I was trying to get across to them that that's not me, I can't do that. And so again, I kind of fell sort of down the wayside, but because I enjoyed art, I just carried on making art and being arty. And I actually went back to university to retrain, and because my first degree was in sociology and HR. That's what I got when I graduated in 2002. And I went back to university and retrained as a photographer and with graphic design. And so I got on much better then, but I don't think I'm an academic person when it comes to the world of art, because the same thing happened then. Did my fingers peak? No. The same thing happened then. So it's not that I can't follow instructions. I can follow instructions. I'm very good at that. I'm quite a good student in that way, just that my brain, I can't copy. I have to do something different. So I've had a bit of an up and down road with my art, but I've always just carried on because it's something I'm passionate about and really enjoy doing. So whilst I didn't do art in my early, a formal qualification in my early years, in my later years I did go back, I'm only 33, so I don't know why I'm saying later years, because I'm not old, but as a mature student, because they class anyone over like 20 as a mature student. So in my mid 20s, I went back to college to do my diploma of art and also my degree in photography with design. So that's kind of my academic claim to fame. I don't know, what's the word? That's where I'm at academically with my art qualifications. I couldn't think of the word then. Stocks. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. If you could have one colour of pen, what colour would you have? Black. I would have black for the versatility that you can use, and I very often do. I just very often pick up my sketchbook and a black pen and just doodle or sketch with a black pen. And particularly if you're using like a biro, you can, depending on how much you push or how lightly you are with your pen, you can also do some shading so you get some tones of grey. Not if you're using a felt tippy or a gel pen, you can't, but it would always be black for the versatility, being able to sketch with it and also kind of just writing and stuff, so black every time. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Suwant 1901. Sorry if I've just butchered that. She says, I've just got my inserts for 2015 and new to having a Filofax. What are your top tips for pimping my pages and organising it? Okay, I think both of those things, both pimping and organising, are a very personal thing. And it's really good to look at other people's pictures and YouTube videos and everything like that to get inspiration. But then you need to pick your own style and your own slant on that. So it's experiment. Don't give up with it, but just experiment. And, you know, I've talked about this before. Some people really heavily decorate their pages. Some people don't. And it's very much a personal thing. You know, you'll have different craft supplies. You may be arty or not. And you just have to kind of experiment and find what you like. Do you like using stickers? Do you like using washi tape? Do you like doodling? Do you like not doing anything because you find the pages are too cluttered? So I would say just don't be afraid to experiment, but don't feel that you've got to stick with one thing or that someone else's way is the way or the best way, because it isn't. Just kind of experiment and find what you like and what works best for you, and just keep trying, because you'll find what works for you in the end.